So, I'm like, yeah, no jumping back.
Did they send that to you?
No question.
The camera to share out the. Okay.
I was just going to the inside, and that's right. Nobody was in that house back then.
Okay.
Much bigger.
That's why nobody was in that house.
What was happening?
Ask about.
You see, if you want to see
My mother used to have it.
next to get
My mother had a text with the job where we had extra.
now, I used to live in that house.
So that money
When?
June 10th,
Yeah.
years ago. Yeah, the mama big son and the mama, now the mom was 10 years they could move my mother. They didn't know I was.
Yeah, but I think
I'm trying to tell you that.
based on
I've been
so I don't guarantee
But they were on that.
Look, just one.
I don't know where they are.
What? This is the office.
They trying to tell you, they told that in 10 minutes to get out of that building.
Yeah.
When they come down and go.
They became
And that was like 10, 12 years.
Virginia. So there is no press today.
No, because it was 12, News 12 is supposed to come in CBS. Yeah.
CBS Council. So this thing is going nowhere.
Yes.
No, you still have it.
How it how? How is
Because we have it, we have the camera to record.
and it's gonna get to the press?
Yeah.
News 12 show up.
And even if News 12 doesn't, once we have it recorded,
Yeah,
we can send it out.
Yeah, but the people are not together. It's scattered with it. They're not put together. They should be together by now.
And waiting for everybody to show up.
I don't know what it would take for people to turn out. And they have serious problems. Your house is the most important thing in your
Well,
life.
they said they were coming. Actually,
No, yes. Right.
yeah, everybody said they're coming.
But you know, it's still new. It will grow.
Yeah.
We have to give it time.
Okay.
It's gonna grow, but we have
They didn't move me over.
Where's your mother?
I'm not telling them to know, man. That's all.
So this is Ida. She helps guardianship in the Virgin Islands.
oh, I'm going to Virgin Islands. Same thing. It's part of America. Same thing. Look, this thing about Intel. Same whole thing.
Right.
It's not about staples. It's about criminals.
Am I a veteran?
Huh?
I'm not a veteran because the years I was born,
I wish we
friends. Because
Well, we
they
have to
didn't the son or the oldest. I remember my mother saying, she had babies in this family.
should be on the phone. Oh, that's your phone. Then wait, Rachel.
They never said anything last time.
Rachel.
It's only 12. What time is it? 12
The
away.
people that are supposed to be there, that's where they are.
Okay.
The people, yeah. Once they have the feel, then we put some noise. Yeah. Say something to this office, the court, the attorney general,
And then she said,
the judge,
mother, you're the child.
these judges,
Right.
they all need to go to jail. They're not judges. They're travesty to justice and law. Because they're all in the pockets of this big law firm. Those are the people they rely on for their real election. You understand? And when there's a foreclosure action before them, in fact, they just trample on you. The whole money. Trample on you. Because there's no foreclosure action.
You mean Sharon?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I've spoken to her.
Okay, you spoke to her.
Yeah, she's going to come set.
Yeah.
Her case is good because
I may
it's
have-
made a decision on her case yet.
Okay. I may have another. Okay.
That's why
All women feel like that when they get their sign.
So now, I don't know. So now, I done sold my house and left on one farm place. Moved up behind my mother in the left 37
I
farm
know.
place. Then she
We had
realized I was your mother, I'm moving. You need to
with the press without the chance.
So I never lived in a apartment.
Let me ask you something.
And now you want me to come in the Chinese man apartment building. I'm seeing crazy. So that's why I came up today.
When you have a oh, Janito. Are they called we have hello?
I got my mother said yesterday. I mean, that's I got love I was with it yesterday.
Yeah, I tell them I was saying how they're like, yeah, it was
Right. Good. No.
and
What you
yeah, I did that real hard. And I'm serving my documents now. This one I'm serving. I'm serving this one. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. D-Dub has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. D-Dub has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. D-Dub has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. D-Dub has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. D-Dub has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho.
maybe 20 years. And we're not going to stop until we get justice. Don't touch my camera. Don't come out. We're talking to you. We're talking to you. Come out. We want justice. Stop stealing black people's legacy. We're fed up, and we're not going to have another Tulsa in Brooklyn in 2025. Everybody here today has a horror story. Everybody here has a horror story of their homes being stolen, and the DA's office is doing nothing. We have a man here, Pierre Hines, legally blind. The minute his home became a historic landmark, sheriff was in his house. His mother was put in a illegal guardianship. He came here with his wife to the DA's office. He said the DA told him they were giving him 5 minutes to get out of their office. This is unacceptable. As Brooklyn becomes lighter and whiter, and we suffer through everything we suffered through. You're kicking us out of our homes, our neighborhoods, our communities. This is unacceptable. Hey, ho, these days have got to go. Hey, ho, these days we have too many victims here. We have our attorney here. We are not stopping until each and every one of us gets justice. We have been fighting. I am in I fight for 15 years. Sanford Solny was convicted. He stole over 540 homes from Black and brown people in Brooklyn, New York, and Queens. This man was convicted in June 5th. Then he had to go to court in Queens because he violated his probation. He gets to come back in September for sentencing. He gets to spend his summer with his family after he's ruined so many lives. This is unacceptable. We are not standing for this. We are calling on the DA. We can't even call on you because we don't trust you. At this point, we don't trust you. We were here a couple of weeks ago. Now I've been arrested twice and damaged in front of my daughter. This is all unacceptable. So many Black women here have been falsely arrested for nothing because we're fighting for our homes. Our homes, our dignity, our sanctuary, our hard work. We are not going to just walk away from our home. We have a man here, Pierre Hines, who has a home on Park Place and Brooklyn Avenue, Kingston. And his home is they're trying to steal his home. His mother is in an illegal guardianship, not too far from Queen of Four's home. And the same thing was done to Queen of Four. And they're still fighting. None of this is okay. This is modern day Tulsa in Brooklyn, New York in 2025. As Brooklyn becomes lighter and whiter, they're pushing us out. Pushing us to go where? Where are we supposed to go? Are we supposed to sleep on the streets? Are we supposed to just give our homes and our communities up? This is not okay. We're asking everyone walking by to stand here. If you're going to the DA's office, ask, why are these people here? Why these people don't have their homes? And I'm going to let the attorney speak, and maybe Roger will speak too in a few victims. Hold on.
Yeah, Chun, another chair.
Hey, ho, ho. These guys have got to go. Hey, ho, ho. These guys have got to go.
that up with the delay. The delay in justice. The fact that the Brooklyn DA's office has had over 3,500 reports of defects since 2017 and has only convicted 30 people of defect and has continued to deny families an opportunity to get justice is a problem and is an indictment on this office. We promise that if D.A. Gonzalez does not make the defect issue in Brooklyn a top issue, he will never ever run uncontested again in Brooklyn.
Yes.
Yes.
The use of guardianships to take our seniors and force them into these guardianships so that they can just take the generational wealth of Black people, that attorneys are now discussing and saying that Black wealth is now being traded in the courtroom. This is a problem. And so we're out here today because Sanford Solny was convicted of stealing over 240 homes. However, the judge only returned 11 homes. It had made a ruling to return 11 homes. However, the Solny defense team has contested the return of those homes. And so instead of getting justice and their titles being returned to them immediately, it's now been pushed back to the sentencing day of Sanford Solny. And that's a problem. That's a shame. And so, what we want the DA's office to understand is that they need to remove DA Farrell. He needs to be fired immediately for blocking justice to all families. And we have to understand that this is a bigger issue because the judges and lawyers are friends. So when these cases come before them, it's their friends' names that are on these documents. It is their friends who orchestrated and worked along in fraud and schemes to defraud families of their wealth. And so justice is slow and almost non-existent. And so we're demanding that something be done. If this man sold 240 homes, 240 homes should have been returned, not 11.
Listen, Mr. DA. Mr. DA, come outside. We need to talk to you face to face. Don't hide in your offices. We're here to talk to you. Enough is enough. Enough is enough.
Enough is enough.
You are aiding and abetting the stealing of wealth from all the Black people in Brooklyn, and you know it.
Shame! Shame!
You know it.
Shame!
You are an accomplice, and that's why you can't come out here. We voted for you. You came to us. You told us we should vote for you. But you are in your office at this time, allowing the white-collar criminals to steal our deeds. You aid and abet them. Even when you take the few you've taken to trial, your trial is abysmal. It's abysmal. When Solny was tried, the judge said 11 titles will be returned. Based on the objection of the attorney who represented Solny, you are now saying you succumb to the judge having a hearing whether or not to return those 11 homes. It's abysmal, Mr. DA. When this case started in court, your attorneys were asked to prove that the properties were worth more than 50,000. Your attorneys carved out. They did not prove to the judge that those properties, each of them, is worth more than 50,000. That led to a bench trial whereby Solny was convicted for stealing property less than 50,000, Mr. D. There is no property in Brooklyn less than 650,000. And it doesn't take much to prove that each of those properties were worth more than 50,000. This is an offense where Solny should have lifetime imprisonment. And you know it. Yes, you babysat him. You supported him. You did not show that each of those properties were worth more than 50,000. You agreed to a sentencing not to exceed 4 years for grand theft and larceny. It's a shame, Mr. D.A. These people may not know the law. It's a shame. It's a shame not only to you, Mr. D.A. It's a shame to the Supreme Court judges in the state of New York as a whole. You are all abetting and you are all aiding these criminals. Even when they come to civil court matters, you accept complaints that don't have notices required by law. Most of you judges have no subject matter jurisdiction to try these cases. Yet you go ahead and grant these foreclosures. You are as well stealing black people's teeth, just like the Solny thieves on the street. It makes no difference. And these judges know they're usually in the foreclosure part of each of these Supreme Courts. And they know what they're doing. They don't have subject matter jurisdiction. Yet they default these clients. They take their homes. It's all sham foreclosures. Even the referee deeds is a sham, and you know it. It's not certified. Those deeds are not worthy of taking somebody's home. Those deeds are only acknowledged. The Supreme Court can never certify a referee deed, and you know it. But they're using it for a sale. The foreclosure is an action in equity. It has nothing to do with people's title. It's a matter of law. And it's happening every day. This is not the courtroom, but I give you these arguments as an attorney. If you are able to come out here and dispute any of these points, please come and talk to us.
Come outside.
Brothers and sisters, today we are outside. Keep messing with us, we will come inside. We won't wait for you to come outside. We need to understand that America was built on the theft of land.
Yes.
They stole this land from the indigenous people.
Yes.
America stole us from Africa to build this land. America was born with the founding fathers who are really founding thieves. And we are not going to let them continue that history. Y'all remember Rosewood in Florida?
Yes.
Stole that community back. Y'all remember Tulsa in Oklahoma? Stole that community back. All over the country, they've been stealing land from us. You remember the judge? You remember the judge and the slave report for that? Stole that too. So we're going to stand here today. These are our numbers today. We're going to work on building this. We'll be back doubling these numbers. And when we exercise Black power.
Black power.
Black power. Black power. For black people. We are cool today, but we're not going to stay cool with you stealing our property. You better correct this, or we're going to do whatever is necessary to get you to respect us.
Yes, sir.
And we're saying to the new possible Mayor Zoran Mamdani, don't just put it on your website. You need to get out here and talk about it. Speak about it. Make it an issue. Because as Malcolm said, land is the basis of freedom. And we have a human right to own a home. Black power. Black power.
Yes, for black people. Yes. Land is so unique. Land is so unique. Hello. Listen, land is so unique. The only thing that is unique next to a human being is your land. This address can never be duplicated in life. Your home address can never be duplicated. A Boeing 737 can be duplicated. You are stealing us. You're not just stealing our land. You're stealing us. Because this land that we have, these addresses, they are unique. You can never create another 350 J Street. 350 J Street is unique. Just like my address where my property has been stolen is unique. You've stolen not only our property, you've stolen us. And Mr. DA, you are an accomplice. Your office, the Supreme Court is an accomplice. The Attorney General is an accomplice. The state of New York is an accomplice. But sad enough, this is not happening across the board. It's only happening to blacks. It's only happening to the vulnerable. It's only happening to those who are not. Those who are neatly connected living in Coney Island. They don't see what we see in this Flatbush. Tell us why. It's the same city, the same laws. But why is the foreclosure on East Flatbush so high? Does it mean everybody living in Coney Island pays their mortgage? No. No, they falter like us, but they're not being foreclosed as us. The thieves don't steal in those areas because that's where they come from. They come from Coney Island. They come from the Bay Ridge. They come from the rich part of, and you, DA, you know it. You're part of them. You are part of them. Because when we bring our cases to you, you tell us to go to the Supreme Court, to go to the civil court on matters that are criminal. You know a private attorney cannot bring a criminal case. You know you are the only one that can bring a criminal case. You failed us. You failed our children. You are not only disinheriting our kids, but you are eliminating them from existence by your actions. You, the DA, you, the Attorney General of New York, you, the Governor of New York, you, the courts of New York, you are disinheriting our children. When we lose our property, our children don't have it. They are being inherited by your children, by the people you support. This must stop. This must stop.
We're victims of white supremacy and Negroes. Negroes and white supremacy. We didn't end up in this situation simply from white land barons, but from Negroes who've been selling us out. Carnegie was here. He sold us out. Hakeem Jeffries is still here, and he's still selling us out. So when we move, and we gotta move now, these are turbulent times, and the only thing we should be afraid of is not uniting. That should be our greatest fear, is us not uniting. We gotta be in our streets, and we have to make sure people hear our views. Black power for black people, and stop stealing our land.
Stop the steal! Stop the steal! Stop the steal!
I have a question. I have a question for DA Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Why did you come out in public and say it loud that the victims are getting their deed back? You confirmed that the deeds have been returned. Why now are you delaying it?
Yeah.
That's my question. Hello, my name is Byron Jones, and I want to talk about the senior citizen issue. I have a $3.5 million brownstone in Clinton Hill, and they did a fraudulent foreclosure auction. I didn't even know they had sold my house. My Black attorney did me in with these people, and I've been fighting them for the last 4 years. And you need to also address that these investors have weaponized the police because they've been trying to get me arrested for the last 4 years when they keep coming into my house. But I hate to say, I fought them with power and resistance until May the 5th of this year, 2025. They showed up with no paperwork. Early morning, I hadn't even gotten out of bed. And the marshal told me I had 5 minutes to get out of my house.
Shame.
And I decided, I just grabbed a few things. I didn't even have underwear on, nothing. And they were already in my house, in my kitchen. And I knew if I had resisted, they would have put me in jail. So I'm saying that they're coming after the senior citizens. And this experience has taught me, does Black women really matter? I did everything right. Education, Peace Corps volunteer, traveled around the world, worked 2 full-time jobs to get this house in Clinton Hill, and I feel like I'm being thrown out like a piece of garbage.
Shame.
So people, we are not going to stop.
No.
And besides the police, every time I went to court for say to file my motions, the judge always ruled for the other side. Even though I presented information that showed all the fraudulent transfer of deed, the judge still ruled in their favor. So everybody needs to go, the judges, the police, your lawyers. Thank you for listening, but this is a really big problem. And I would say one other thing. The investors are combing your neighborhoods. They're watching you. They'll pick out the house that they want, because I've been getting unnecessary violations from the buildings department and HPD for the last 15 years. So they've been on me, watching me, and I didn't even know it until they stole my deed in November 2022. Thank you very much for letting me speak. What we're seeing and what this mic is on. It's on. We need an independent agency. These people cannot, and they've shown this, they cannot be left to their own devices. They cannot be trusted. They are not to be trusted. We need the NAACP. Jay-Z, you stood up for Khalif Broder. We need you to stand up for us. You have power. Use your platform. The Breakfast Club. What was his name? The mayor? No, not Charlemagne the God. The man running for mayor. Zoran Madani, you were on the Breakfast Club. Bring some of us on the Breakfast Club with you to tell the horror stories. This is modern day Tulsa. This is so egregious and so ugly. As Felix is speaking with someone from Sanford Solny's office, Patrice, she recognized him. Used to come to her house and harass her. So they're watching us. They're watching. They know what's going on. And we are not going to stop. Like Charles Barron said, we're outside now. But you give us time and you do nothing, we're going to come inside. And we're not coming inside nice. And we're not coming pretty. Because you're stealing our homes, our lives, our sanctuaries, our minds. This is wrong on every single level. All these domestic terrorists going inside with guns on them, looking at us perplexed. Stop stealing our damn homes. That's what we're here to say. Stop stealing that My name
is Florence F. Litchmore Smith. I'm here representing my father, Barton Elliston Litchmore. I'm here to say Alan J. Weintraub Esquire is a thief. I'm here to say Judge Mark Aaron Partner is a thief. I'm here to say D.A. Gonzalez office is a thief. I'm here to say that the criminal court, it's also criminal judges. We cannot look and say because they have a robe on, they are robed in justice. They are more robed in injustice, unfair judicial practice, unfair lawyers practice, unfair district attorney practice, yet at the same time they're collecting your taxes. They're collecting federal money, and their duty is to abide by justice, and they are not abiding by nothing.
So we've been waiting for weeks now. The DA promised to meet with us. We called their office. They said they would get back to us immediately and things would be scheduled. District Attorney Oren, who's a spokesperson for the DA's office, said that they would get back with us to talk about educational initiatives for the community where the people who are the victims of deed theft would be able to participate and talk about what to look out for and what is the real way that deed theft occurs. However, we've heard nothing from the DA's office except that they're delaying. But all they're doing is fueling us because this crowd is going to continue to grow. And the people who have been denied justice, we're looking for them to let them know that deed theft does not have a statute of limitation, that fraud does not have a statute of limitation. And if a crime was committed against you, the city of the DA's office has to do something about it. DA Farrell needs to be removed and fired as a district attorney over deed enforcement.
That's right.
For all of the families and the people who have been denied justice by this office.
That's right.
And I want to talk about something because we're on Kenneth P. Thompson's way. And I want to talk about Kenneth P. Thompson because it's in his shoes that Gonzalez becomes the DA.
Talk about it.
It was because of who Kenneth P. Thompson was that he was able to unseat DA Hines.
Right.
He was a criminal DA. When Kenneth P. Thompson was the DA, when he came into office, every 6 weeks, a person who was wrongfully incarcerated was released from prison. And somehow along the way, mysteriously, he ends up with some type of cancer. And within a short period of time, he's off the scene.
Talk about it.
And then this DA Gonzalez comes in and he goes in and he's able to take that seat, which this office had become the model for transformative justice in the United States, saying that people could get justice at the DA's office, that it wasn't a place for only prosecution and unjust convictions, but that people could get justice. And now here we are, the clock being rolled back to where justice is now being stripped from families with Gonzalez standing in the shoes with the legacy of D.A. Thompson. And what we're crying is that this is foul and that we're going to continue to occupy this place to let everyone know if there is no justice, there will be no peace.
That's right.
And that when injustice is served, resistance is duty. And so I want us to continue to occupy. I want you to not faint. I want you to continue to stand and show up because your wealth is on the line. And shame on D.A. Oren for not keeping his word, but coming to stand out amongst the people. Shame on D.A. Gonzalez for dragging his feet. But if he was prosecuting gang members, we would see it all across the news. There would be billboards talking about how they took it down, and there would be press conferences about it. But we hear nothing about deed theft. And so we want to say today, and serve notice that this is only going to continue to grow. The people are not going to stop coming, and that we fully will be occupying the court on the 17th of September to ensure that all 11 victims' deeds are returned to them. We want an investigation into Judge Chun. We want an investigation into Judge Chun to find out why is it that he will walk back what it is that he promised. Why are they delaying justice? And I want you all to understand that the only reason why these families are going to get what is due them is because you're showing up.
That's right.
Because you're keeping the pressure on.
That's right.
If you go silent, they win. You keep the pressure on, you
So we get everything that's ours. We're not stealing. Giving us back our feet.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ashmi Modikan, and I'm just repeating something that the Attorney General of New York said. No one is above the law. I stand here today not just as a homeowner, but also a woman of many identities. First and foremost, a daughter, a sister, a mother, a proud grandmother of 7 beautiful grandchildren. I'm also a friend to many others who, like me, have been forced to walk a long and painful road to justice. Together we stand in truth. Our homes were stolen through deed theft and fraud, using false, fabricated documents infiltrated our land records by attorneys, lawless attorneys of law, that are filed in our courts, inducing the court with document fraud, an epidemic of documentation fraud that is not unique to New York, but happening across the entire United States of America. I have been dragged through multiple courts, state, civil, federal, bankruptcy, and I can list every single case number. Each one tells a part of the same story, a system that has failed to protect the truth and instead shield the powerful. From 2009 to 2019, I was misled, manipulated, and misrepresented by over 8 attorneys. By over 8 attorneys that I retain, they all failed in their fiduciary duty and participated in the fraud. I was set up to lose everything: my home, my rights, integrity, and my dignity. My story is documented and published in Black Star News by Milton Alamadi. It is not fiction, it is evidence. I have reached out to the Attorney General, Letitia James, and the Queen's District Attorney, spoke to Williams Johansen office multiple times, and continue to be dismissed. Today, I am defending my rights and property and up against multiple law firms with over 70 attorneys since 2010, backed by banks, trusts, and institutions with limitless resources. I am being retaliated against for daring to speak the truth. But I'm not alone. Like so many other homeowners standing here today, our doors across the country, I am being maliciously prosecuted in courts that have been complicit. Judges who have sworn an oath to uphold justice are turning a willful blind eye to the perjury, forgery, and theft. They are denying us due process rights, blocking our motions and weaponizing proceedings to silence us. This is not just legal misconduct, it is unconstitutional. The courts have become instruments of injustice, where rights are denied under the color of law, and where the rule of law no longer applies to equality. This is not democracy. This is not justice. This is a human rights crisis unfolding in courtrooms across America. We are standing up not just for our homes, but for our children, grandchildren, and the future generations, for the perseverance of truth, dignity, and generational wealth. We all have been targeted because of our identity. They're challenging our integrity, and we want to take our dignity. We, the people, stand together to reclaim it all. The trust we once had in financial institutions, in the lawless attorneys, and our judicial system are lost. Our trust is in our Creator of the heavens and the earth. And I know there is a reason for all of us being here today. Nothing happens without the permission of our Creator. We all have a purpose to right the wrongs that has been done to each and every one of us. We need action today, not tomorrow, from those who we put in position to do their jobs. Thanking each and every one of you who are here today for allowing me to stand in solidarity for justice for all. Thank you.
No justice! 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 Come outside! Come outside! DA Gonzalez! Come outside! Come outside! DA Gonzalez! Come outside! Come outside! DA Gonzalez! Come outside! Come outside! No justice! 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 No
Listen, so I just did a little quick count. Y'all got like close to 20 people here. But when she said no justice, I'm hearing like 4 no pieces. Are y'all here together or not?
We are.
What's going on? Are y'all here together or not? Are y'all gonna make this man come out? We can't make him come out if you're real low. We gotta get loud. Right? We out here for what they call an action. An action has passion. Passion makes noise. So when she says no justice, I need to know to be louder than the drum guy. And you're supporting, please support. Because we're not looking for models So we don't need to see your outfit that you got on. We need you to support this situation and let your voice be heard along with this so that we can amplify deed theft so that everybody knows about the situation. Everybody agree with that? I said everybody agree with that? Yeah. Let's try it again. No justice. Yeah, no justice. No justice. I said no justice. No justice. No justice. No justice. No justice. No justice. And when I say DA, you say come outside. DA. 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 No justice. No
Let's go. Okay. Okay.
What? Is it? It's over? Nobody wants to speak? Anybody else want to come on? Somebody, people got their stuff taken? Who got their stuff taken? You're supposed to be angry as fuck right now.
That's right.
You're supposed to be so tight you can push a hole through the floor with your stomp. You understand what I'm saying? They took your stuff.
That's right.
What are you talking about? And y'all calm and cool? No, make some noise.
We making some noise. That happened to me back in 2005. I owned a brownstone in Clinton Hill. I worked hard. I've been working hard since I was 16 years old. Invested, right? I wanted to build on my back lot. And these developers came and stole my property.
What they do?
They stole my property.
What did they do?
They stole my property.
Yo, what did they do? They stole her property. What did they do?
They stole my property. But guess what? They thought it was over. They were like, oh, it's a wrap. It's not. Watch and see what's about to happen. Watch about to see what's going to happen to all of us. I came to the DA's office in 2007, kept giving them information. They even had false checks, these cashier's checks that the developers had said they had given to me that put right back into their account. And what's his name? Richard Farrell said, oh, that's not a crime. Really? $1 million? Cashier's check that went back into their account and they say they own my building, my property?
Who said it's not a crime?
Richard Farrell.
Yeah, put his name out.
Richard Farrell.
Richard Farrell.
Richard Farrell. Richard Farrell. Chief of Fraud Division told me that's not a crime. Right? So they say, oh, we own your building. And before we can even get back to Supreme Court, they filed for bankruptcy. And I sent another letter to Richard Farrell. Stop this. Stop this and investigate this. And no, it wasn't stopped and my home was sold in the bankruptcy court. But guess what? It ain't over. Okay? Watch and see what's gonna happen.
What's gonna happen?
Because they think that we just gonna be quiet and let this happen. People getting evicted out of their homes taken away from them. You know, it's disgusting. And we are fed up and we are not gonna allow this to go on. Okay? We gotta stay together. We gotta keep the pressure on. You know what? Because this is gonna get worse. This happened to me in 2005. And in 2025. But guess what? My daughter just graduated from college and I made it as a single mother, putting her through college. Yeah. You understand that? They didn't stop me. They didn't stop her. But that's what they want. They want to destroy us. But we're not going to let that happen. And we have to stick together. All right?
All right.
Yes. Let's stick together. Let's be harmonious. No justice!
When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? What do we want? When do we want it? We want Danny K. Chun investigated. We want these judges investigated. We want these attorneys investigated.
Silence investigated.
We want the dollars investigated. We want to understand, how is it that the only crime you can't call and report to the police is VFAC?
That's right. Malicious prosecution.
There is no, you cannot report it to the police. They send you on a wild goose chase. They make you lose time and traction. So when you finally do show up and they know that they have to do something, they tell you that there's a statute of limitation. You came too late. They can't deal with it. But we're demanding an investigation into the DA's office. We want someone to look in. They need an independent investigator to look into what is happening here at the DA's office. They are taking advantage of elderly people.
That's right.
You have the grandchildren and children of those who bought homes and we're leaving it to their children and their children's children as an inheritance. And just when grandma gets to the age, they come in and they just take the property because they think that there's no one around to help. And they use guardianships to perpetuate this crime. But we're going to continue to fight and keep the pressure on. Because if there is no justice, there will be no peace. No justice! No peace! No justice! 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 So, whether y'all know it or not, District Attorney Eric Gonzalez, he comes up for re-election next year. This means that there's a voting process that happens to get him back into office. The most powerful thing that you have as a group, as a coalition, is the number of votes that you have with the number of people in your coalition and those that will support you. When you saying no justice, no peace, that means that you're going to make some noise to the point that they really can't get no sleep. They really don't get no peace because you're constantly making noise and you're in their ear, you're in their space. But let's take it a step further. You don't want to just be in his ear and in his space. You want to get up in his office in some way, shape, or form. The way you get up in his office is you start talking about the votes that he's going to need to get back into that office, or he won't be going back to that office next year. There'll be someone else there. So when I say no justice, say no vote. Because that's what scares them. When they have to be voted in, re-elected in, that means that they need votes. If you cause a problem with them getting the votes, that's a problem for him. We're going to start causing some problems for this vote if he don't come out here and meet with y'all. Ain't that right? I said, ain't that right? Yeah. So when I say no justice, you say no vote, right? That's clear, right? No justice! No justice! I said no justice! No justice! No justice! We get no justice! We get no justice! Yes! That's how you do it. You a little bit hurt. Their power rests in the fact that they happen to have a bureaucracy that has unlimited money to the point where they've gotten to the point where they don't even see human beings anymore.
They just see numbers and figures on the papers and computers. And that ain't right. Is that right? I said it's right. And since it's wrong, we gonna attack him and make sure that he either corrects it or no justice. No justice. I said no justice. Make it loud. No justice. No justice. No justice. Now, so if there's no vote, that means that his seat as a DA is no longer there for him. And what we're coming for is he doesn't get us our home, we don't want him to have his seat. Right? He can't sit in that seat if we can't sit in our home. He can't sit in the seat if we're not comfortably with our daughter, our son, our father, our mother, our uncle, our cousins inside our home. Right? All right. So if he don't meet with us, he loses his seat. Right? So when I either meet with us, you say, or lose your seat. You heard with us? Meet with us! You just meet with us! You just meet with us! 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 Beautiful. Gotta bring the heartbeat. Got to bring the heartbeat. I am Chief Minister Omar Hardy, and I am the owner, in fact, of the Slave Theater and the Black Lady Theater. And I am the heir apparent of Judge John L. Phillips. Over 20 years ago, Judge John L. Phillips, he was kidnapped out of Brooklyn. What? By way of the DA's office. Charles Hines was in the seat at the time.
Turn this way.
Charles Hines was in the seat at the time. So, as we know, this particular office needs a major overhaul. Because what was done to Judge Phillips and essentially all of our businesses and the family attached has been interrupted in a major level. The view out here is a whole, like what happened to the slave theater is a blueprint for what's happened to all of these different families out here. We need justice. We are in the process of correcting all injustices. Amen. Please believe that. But these different elected officials and whatnot, we need y'all to do your job. You know? So I don't have much to say, you know, but we got a whole lot of action that will continue to happen. Right? Again, we are still seeking justice for Judge John L. Phillips, who was kidnapped by way of the DA's office. Charles Hines. Ken Thompson spoke on our case to get into his seat. Rest in peace to the brother. But we still need those actions to be utilized. Yes. Stop ignoring us. Stop pushing us to the side. Yes. You know, but please believe we are not begging you all for anything. We are demanding justice. Yep. Demanding our human rights. Yes. We have the right to stand up for life, liberty, and the pursuit of property. Stop saying, trying to switch it up with the happiness.
It's property.
But it's the pursuit of property. And we will continue that pursuit
We will continue to correct all injustices. We will not allow anybody to dehumanize us as a people. We will not allow anybody to wipe our culture away. We will not allow anybody to steal our real property or our intellectual property. So again, we will continue to correct all injustices. We will not give up, and we will not give in. Thank you.
One thing I understand, our mayor, Adams, he has not addressed real estate property theft. We are talking about Hoku. They only put on a show to get the vote. Once they get the vote, you are not mentioned anymore. We have to come to realize there's one progress and the progress is land. There's one progress and the progress is justice. There's one progress and it's happiness living in your home. A man's castle, that is his home. And when we don't have a castle, we don't have a home. The district attorney office, I have applied to them from 2018 about Alan J. Winthrop Esquire. And I was told by Mr. Smith, who worked in the office, don't send me those documents. I have applied to the New York Attorney General office, and I was told, don't give us any documents. At the same time, when we go to the Supreme Court, we are told by clerks here, our cases adjourned while the criminals are in the back, signing foreclosure and sale, signing auction while you are home. You go to the bankruptcy court, especially Judge Nancy Horton-Lars. She pretends, oh my God, this happened to you, but in the back, she is outside of her title doing injustice, superseding auction and having trustee from the United States office signing over your papers claiming all this money is due, and none of them, which is their duty to do, is to have evidence. Their duty is to have the checks cashed. Their duty is to have the documents from the banks showing the withdrawal and the deposit. They have none. Yes, when you come to court, if you don't have a lawyer, they don't want to come to you. When you have a lawyer, they make sure that lawyer loses license or be submitted to their tricks. Therefore,
Tell them how many properties you have.
I have three.
And what did they do to you? Tell them what they did to you.
One thing I learned, and I learned just June 28, 2025, that it was an intellectual property that they was and they stored for Smith and integrity enterprises was used to do all the transactions. Now, even though I paid for the LLC, it didn't belong to me even when they write those checks.
And it was
So now,
with the areas of three properties.
my property is in Bedford Stuyvesant, two of them.
And where else?
And one in the middle of Bush Street. The main area between Graham Avenue and Montrose Avenue of Midori Hospital. But guess what? That's not even enough. We went to the Opera Theater and we found out that Child of Say was the one who booked it. Yes, and we were there. And he booked it and they were having fun. And Minister Ahmad's legacy, the safe, the doors, the convenience, that's a problem. No. Okay? When they arrested me, they didn't learn that's the wrong thing they have ever done. I told the police all of them gonna lose their job.
see the information that is written in the documents. And I'm letting you know, we are the only group that don't know what is submitted to the judge.
That's right.
And if you know what is submitted to the judge, you can go back and overturn every darn thing. But if you don't know, you're dependent on your lawyers. Lawyers are good because they are your inspirers. They allow you to realize how much you're paying them, but they are in fear of their own lives. Thank you. That's great.
That's good.
All right, we all know what the deal is here. This has been going on since we modeled Reconstruction. They decided we don't have a right to generational wealth. So don't do this to white people in New York City. They don't do this to white people in Tennessee. They don't do this to white people in Texas. They have always determined that black people cannot have intergenerational wealth.
That's right.
They claim that the federal government has nothing to do with state taxes. But every time the state gets into financial trouble, they owe the taxes of private property for black people. Why don't we have an investigation and show the taxes that black people are paying
Let that be free.
and the terms of what black people are paying?
Speak.
If you go to the oath of office and you look at the fines that black people get, and you check those same fines in the same neighborhood where there are white homeowners, they are different. When they are different on an accident, you don't have law and order. You have racist capitalism. You are a colony. And when we stand up and make the district attorney do an investigation of what the taxes are we are paying, for the same type of homes that white people are paying, this will end. You don't have justice. Stop acting like you have justice. You have never had it. You won't have it. And you might have it.
Thank you.
Mic drop. You gonna go on there? Yeah, I'm gonna
Please give us some water.
That's really good. I go over this
Black tax.
so wait.
That's what I thought.
That was for the give us some water. Thank you. Wonderful. Yes, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Chun, and I've been a victim of defraud my family. We were a victim in 2015, and unfortunately, we've been fighting since that time. Like everyone else that talks here, it's been the cycle of begging and pleading for enforcement to do their job. My God, it's horrible. We've been in the news, they wrote about us, document, you name it. Everyone has basically a very similar story here. The trauma continues. It is colonialism, right? At its best. What I want to talk about today is the alarming systemic failure of Richard Farrell. And one of the members in my organization, Janina, she spoke about it earlier, Richard Farrell, because one thing we all have in common, the majority of us, is that we all went to Richard Farrell. Almost everybody in this group went to Richard Farrell, the chief of the defraud department at the DA's office. And one thing Richard Farrell did was tell each of us, no. Richard Farrell denied each of us our right.
That's black tax. That's how you know.
When I met Janina a few years ago, she had the same exact story that I had, and we could not believe that we had the exact same story. Alonde standing to my left had the same exact story when he went into Richard Farrell. Right, exactly. Therefore, it's systemic, right? And
And everybody behind saying exact stories about Richard Barron. It made no sense. Same pattern of abuse. Now this is the Black community, but guess what? It would happen in the other minority communities. We learned, right? The Hispanic community. Then it happened in the Indian community. Oh, okay, it's happening in all these communities, right? Richard Barron, he's telling everybody the same story. But I want to talk about a few numbers very quickly. We heard officials claim progress, right? But the numbers speak louder. Over 1,500 D4 complaints have been filed in Brooklyn since 2014. As of May 2015, fewer than 30 perpetrators have been convicted citywide. This is a disparity. It's unacceptable.
That's right. Numbers.
It was 1,500 D4 complaints have been filed right in Brooklyn, right, the epicenter of this crime, since 2014.
1,500.
Right? As of May 2025, fewer than 30 of these criminals have been convicted citywide. Okay? Now, some of y'all now, you're real good with numbers. I want you to do these numbers now. Okay? Fewer than 30. Okay? We have to really sit. I'm glad your brothers stopped. Y'all got to sit and listen to those numbers, right? Fewer than 30. Now, someone said earlier, when it's Black men, right, from the corners, they line them brothers up. They line them brothers up to get free services for the state. But when it comes to Black homes and Black properties, right, less than 30 convictions citywide. Those numbers are a disparity. Okay? The Brooklyn District Attorney's Office reports that since 2017, it has indicted 30 cases involving 42 defendants, with convictions tied to over 70 properties. Okay? This represents a tiny fraction of the total number of complaints. Just here alone, we all make complaints. Okay? But what happened? What was the outcome, okay, of our complaints? That is the question.
The pattern of oppression.
That is the pattern of systemic oppression. Nothing has changed for us. Nothing has changed in Brooklyn. So when we ask for an investigation, we have a right for this investigation because we are being denied equal enforcement under the law. And the numbers, their own numbers don't lie. We have the numbers. Our coalition did the work. And we're using their own numbers as evidence. We did the work. So that's why we're asking for this. Okay? This is the science, as they always say. Okay? The conviction. Okay? I'm going to end with this. Richard Barron, according to him, even in 2017, Richard Barron himself admits, dating back. Guys, thank you, brother. Dating back to 2000, we've had 1,000 referrals. This is according to him in the article for real estate fraud, and we see a disproportionate number of seniors. This is elder abuse. He's even saying it. We have elders here who have been abused. We have our elders, okay? We have a number of elders who just recently been displaced and put out of their home. Disgusting, okay? He knew. Okay? This crisis hit the Black community and other communities of color, especially in Bed-Stuy and Crown Heights, which was hit the hardest. Yet, in 2025, the numbers reveal the truth. Thousands of claims, but minimal convictions. Thousands of complaints, but minimal convictions. The numbers don't lie, you all. How is this even possible? How is it that Richard Barron still has his job? He denied us of our basic rights to equal enforcement under the law. Richard Barron told my family when Monakish Gervish stole our property, right, from Mandy Management, he did these crimes all over the country, right? He said this is just a bad contract gone wrong. It took 7 years for them to even look at it. Because Richard Barron was the barrier
justice. He stood in the way. He kept on denying us. And guess what? Soleil, Andre Soleil, he was able to flee and go to Africa. Andre Soleil, what he did to my family, he did to Janita's family as well.
Wow.
But Richard Farrell stood in the way of justice. Had Richard Farrell not stood in the way, guess what? Andre Soleil would not have been able to flee to Africa and steal $6 million of equity, not just from our family, but from other families. He's a disbarred lawyer. So why would Richard Farrell allow that to happen? He should lose his job. He needs to be investigated. So when you ask, should there be an investigation? Absolutely. We got to investigate this office. There has been some crimes against some black people. There's been some crimes against some people of color. And this office needs to be investigated. You can investigate these black things. We got to investigate these other people too. We got to investigate. They have failed to do their duty. Because my grandmother was born in the Jim Crow South, but she died in the Jim Crow North at 100 years old. Shame on you all. Shame. She was a part of 1199. She worked at Kingsbrook Jewish Medical Center, and they denied her justice. How dare you all do that to her? Shame on you all.
Alande. It's okay. Are you not gonna say? Oh, she gonna go first? Okay. Oh, yeah.
I just want to say, I don't want to watch
Yeah, give me the other one I could use. I can use the other one you had. Yeah, I can use that one.
So I got a good angle.
Okay.
I gotta make it turn and see it. I don't know how to do it.
Hello.
What, this?
Hello.
No, it's
Are you fired up?
record you.
No. Are you fired up?
You want to leave it down
No
there?
justice. No justice.
Okay.
No justice. My name is Janet Bruce. I'm well known with the district attorney. I'm no stranger to your office. I'm here since 2017. I went to your office and I plead my case. And now we're in 2025. I lost my property, by Sanford Solny. And when you look at everything that is going on, I'm 73 years old, lost every single thing. Dear Gonzalez, I met you at DS Thomas's going up service. And you promised that you're going to look out for the people in Brooklyn, but you failed us. Dear Farrell, I've met him time and time again. And there's no justice. I was on on 2020, I was on the news with the Attorney General fighting for justice. And I'm still here. And I'm saying this today, that Thomas Jefferson said in his words, I tremble at the country when I reflect that God is just and his justice cannot sleep forever. I'm saying this to all of my brothers and sisters here today, that there's no justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace.
My God. See another senior citizen that's disgusted. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, I have to say, no. I have to just say, I just want to say this one thing. I want to add this last piece. Deed theft is redlining by another name, and we keep forgetting to name that. Deed theft and racial gentrification by modern day redlining. The redlining of Brooklyn never ended. It just changed the tactics. This epidemic of deep theft in Brooklyn must end. The redlining of our neighborhood must end. And we must name deep theft as the new way of redlining that never ever ended in our communities. Deep theft is the new way of redlining. It never ended. Yes, beloved, stand there. Deep theft is the new way of redlining. It never ended in our community. Never ever forget that. Deep theft is a new way of redlining. It never ended in our community. Never ever forget that. Ever, ever, ever forget that. Racial gentrification is deep theft. It is redlining. Nothing has changed in our community. Okay? Never ever forget that. We gotta name it for what it is. And until we name it, we will stay traumatized. Amen. In the late 90s, early 2000s, 70 to 80% of Black wealth was in Bedside and Crown Heights. Today, it's only 15 to 20% of generational wealth is in Black Brooklyn. Redlining by any other name is called deep theft. It's called racial gentrification. Let's not forget it. We got to name it if anything's going to change. And that's a fact.
Thank you.
Alonde?
$80.
We get everybody back over here to support the group. If you came out to beat them, if you came out as a victim of mortgage fraud, we ask that you come together. We don't need to be more divided than we already have been. We are here to make a voice, and one voice as a unit whole be heard. So we're going to ask that everybody come back up to the circle. The best way you can, come back up to the circle and not allow yourself to be divided by unintentional things. We ask that you come back and stand behind us and stand with us. Because the one thing that they have found is that we as a people have sat down and forgotten which part of how many of us it took to stand online and how many lives was lost by doing it. In the sweat and the tears of our forefathers who have actually killed in lines of duty and have no merit to this day to be rewarded from. They have forgotten that some of our family members, mine in particular, came from the South, worked in homes as house people, okay, coming from fields, raised their money and bought the very homes they worked in, and then in return have failed. Why? Because they thought they were leaving their family their generational wealth, which we now have nothing to show. They have forgotten that some of us was illiterate, so we couldn't read the lines. Meanwhile, we can read all between the lines. So what we need to not forget is that we owe it not only to ourselves, we don't just owe it to our children, we owe it to our generations before us. We owe it to those whose lives we cannot speak to today. We owe it as a responsibility of understanding that you are who you are and you came from where you came from. And you should not ever forget that. And if someone laid a path for you to decide to have something later on, and it is now gone by a simple injustice, we call it a simple injustice. You know why it was simple? Because it was simply took. It was simply took and it was not given back. And no, we have not fought the same fight that they have fought. We have not gotten beat up, half of us haven't. There are some that actually has. But we have not been dragged, and we're not asking it. Let me state this for the law enforcement officers. We are not against law enforcement. Okay? We don't stand here. I have quite a few family members that are in law enforcement. I enjoy the idea of law enforcement. Had I been, as I told the DA's office, they should have hired me. You know why? I would have did it pro bono to help all those Brooklynites who lost their homes. And some of us have an eye to see not only that the paperwork is correct, but that justice prevails. That is the reason why we casted a vote. I myself personally had went and campaigned for DA Gonzalez. I myself didn't ask for a check in my grassroots marketing for DA Gonzalez. I myself looked to see that I would help. And the reason why I would help, because I thought, as we all want to believe, that when we put a politician in office, that they are there to help and benefit us as a whole. This is not the whole benefit of which we had in mind. This is not even half the benefit of which we had in mind. There is no reason why people should stand out and believe that the law is protecting us, when at the same time in talking, we're showing and proving the laws have been broken. Yet we should sit and say nothing. Yet we should be in a place where we should sit back and to be told that this cannot happen, or it's okay, we don't know, or we don't have the resources for. The resources are always there. Why are they there? Because we know that this city, just like America, was built by immigration. We didn't come here, they brought us here. And the ones who were already here, they were used in the same manner to build a better city, to build a so-called greater America. But where are we now? Some of us are trying to live with the fact that we had something. And now we're being pushed back to say we have nothing no more. That is not the position that we are taking. That is not the position that we should accept. That is not the position that we should allow. We are not allowed to sit back. We weren't coming from a people who sat back. We were coming from a people who used blood, sweat, and tears to get to where they got. And they've tried to promise us that we wouldn't have to do the same. They wanted to look. Martin had the dream. Malcolm had the vision. Where are we now? Can't you see the reality? And if you do not see the reality, look around you. Look around you, how people of our own kind will pass us by. Why? Because we were on the street. I particularly knew the judge who was owner of the Black Theater. I watched him on Notre Dame and Park Place tell everyone that he was a judge. And he was on the street. And the man was crying because no one believed him. I personally took him to a hospital. I personally found out that there was really something wrong with him. And I found out that he was really a judge who had ownership in the Black Lady Theater. So when I come to sit with the brother Omar from the Black Lady Theater, for whatever transaction that took place, I come to know that there are some facts. There's some facts that have constantly been looked over. Facts that should not be looked over, such as in my case. Facts that I'm also a victim of Sanford Solny, the one of whom I particularly went to the DA's office, the Attorney General's office. I gave them 11 other people. 12 other people that were involved. 11 others got indicted. My property is not listed still on any of those indictments. There's a plain English about what is in a public record. And what is in public record is no question as to what crimes has been committed, because they made it publicly known. So when there is a continuous avoidance of knowing when a crime has been committed, there is no such thing as that should be accepted. So once again, like I said, we're not here for the idea, or if anyone wants to believe or think the idea that law enforcement is actually the problem or the issue. No, the issue is enforcing the law. Not the officers, but the officer who chose not to enforce it. That is the issue. The injustice in behind that is that if you know the law is broken, do not send our people home. Do not overlook their paperwork just because we want to bypass. Bypass what? The law is stated that it is clear law. I would like to have read some of that clear law to make sure that everyone understands that when a crime is committed, it's a crime. We are not looking to have any empathy in respect to anything other, sympathy, and also empathy if it does not have action. We're looking for a clear understanding that, you know what is right is right and what is wrong is wrong. and like one of the sisters and everyone has testified, the moment when there are young black people arrested for any kind of crime, their picture is posted. On these particular things. I can't tell you we haven't found a picture post of all the 11 indicted people as a RICO type of crime. Mrs. wasn't indicted for the RICO kind of crime. Why? I don't know. But that is true. That's that were involved. But at the same time, we have actually paid. I myself personally have sat in the DA's office. I myself personally have spoken to what they told me was an analyst. And I'm still waiting for a response. That makes no sense. If a judge can sit down and tell me as they did in my case, the estate never left the property, and the property never left the estate, I am a legal administrator of my family's estate. There is no reason why I should have been in a landlord and tenant court, because we know by jurisdictional purposes, it is not the case to be. You are not allowed and should be. There's no reason why homeowners who are here and have been here ended up in a landlord and tenant proceeding when it is a Supreme Court action proceeding needed. There is no reason why we are standing out where we are now and there is a whole bunch of new components right here now, other than politics. And why is that other than politics? It is because the mere fact that they control the news. They control the story, but they can't control these stories of fact. They can't control the fact is that we are here, we've been here, and we're not going nowhere. We're not going nowhere until the situation is resolved. This day may come, but this day will come such as many more before us, such as many times before us. So I say to you all, we already know, no justice, no vote. No justice, no vote. Let me hear no justice, no vote.
No justice, no vote.
No justice, no vote. No justice, no vote. And no justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. You can't possibly have peace when you have so much chaos. And the reason for this chaos has nothing to do with our group here. This chaos is because people, developers, and politicians have sat back and done nothing, while offices have been knocked on and calls have been made and rallies have come. But where are they now? They can't go to court with you is what they will tell you. They will not face the judge with you is what they will tell you. They will not even give you a letter of support from what the facts remain. How is that possible? How is that possible? But they ask for your signature. They ask for your vote. They ask for you to come and show up. They ask for you to rally with them, whatever their cause is. But what you all don't know is when the money comes, they don't know your number. They don't know your email address. They don't know where to go and where to find you. And when the next attorney they vote, they don't even remember your face or number. So let's remember this. D.A. Gonzalez, once again, let's be clear. We're not here to negotiate. We're here for understanding. And we're here for a job to be taken seriously. We're here for our voice to be taken seriously. And again, there is no injustice here. There's no injustice here to be looked upon as if something was done, because nothing was done. That is the absolute truth. Nothing was done. If you overlook whatever you overlook and the people came back to say, look again, then look again. But don't send us back on a ring around the rosy, on a chase, a wild goose chase to agency to agency. The sheriff's department has done nothing. They have never returned my emails. They have never returned my calls. Okay, they've done absolutely nothing. But the district attorney's office hasn't done nothing. I was on the phone with politicians. Me and Therese on the phone with politicians and the DA's office and the Attorney General's office and every person in our district. And now they stopped. And then after all of this, I was arrested in my own home for criminal trespassing. I don't have a record. I don't have any felony offenses. I'm not a person that goes in and out of jail, and the rest of our life have been actually because of situations where they have used police to actually navigate on false arrests. And I've had to wait patiently to get my name cleared every time. That is ridiculous. That should not happen. officers of the law who take their job serious. I'm applauding all officers of the law who want to do real community work. I'm applauding all officers of the law who stand for justice, and that's the reason why you took your job. I applaud you. I want to give you a hand. But what I don't want to do is I don't want to see an officer who wants to abuse the law, who wants to make his power rule, his ruling. I asked the DA's office before they gave me on my birthday, of which they came into my home. On my birthday, they came into my home. They broke into my home through the basement door. One of the sergeant's name is Sergeant Bruno. I'm not going to let it go down. I'm not going to let it be forgotten. Because they pointed guns to my sister. They pointed guns to my sisters, and they pointed guns to my niece. They were only women in the house, in a living room. But they're all supposed to be protected by our own concept of duty. Why? Because we have a right to protect our home. But when they did that, they actually made me come back and lose a job on the very same day. Yes. A job that would have had me doing what I'm doing now. Community advocacy. It's direct position. I lost that job because I was certain that they would arrest my sister. Why were they in my home? Why is that case has not been reviewed? Why did the DA ask me and tell me that the assistant district attorney asked me why he could not find a court order? There was a live court order, a stay away order, an order that violates, if anyone violates that order, they are considered trespassing themselves of the law. They are no longer in law enforcement. They have violated and made the criminal act. So my questions, and my questions still remain, why have we not been addressing this officer? You know what I was told? Before any investigation would occur, he specifically told me, we're not going to look into that. We are not going to arrest the officer for criminal trespassing. We're not going to arrest the officer for trespassing. We're not going to even put a violation for the officer for violating a court order.
But you know what?
I tell you one thing, I don't know any average African-American man who violates any court order got a free play and walk. No man has done it. And if you've done it, if you're out there, come see me and please tell me how it happened. Come see me and please tell me how it happened. I had a bad experience of being falsely accused. And I was given probation. Didn't know nothing about it, so I never appeared. But on the day I was going for a job, a city job, you know what they said? Oh, you have been on probation. I said, that's not what my legal papers say from the DA's office. It says a $500 fine. They could no longer believe it. But yet and still, I was sentenced back to a court date. It made absolutely no sense. I gave them law. I learned the law. Thanks to my grandfather, I learned the law. And at the end of the day, I will tell you, it is a abuse of power when you actually feed them their own words, law, and you do not recognize it. When you play ignorant of the law, while they say at the same time, ignorance of the law has no defense. So what is your defense? If ignorance of the law has no defense, then DA Gonzalez's office, what is your defense?
For breaking the law.
There is no defense. They have not released the FOIA act. I sent in a FOIA request in regards to let me see, let the world see that the officers did what they did. I was told the court order is in the file. I was told it's been 2 years. No one waits 2 years to release audio of a violation. Then they told me, what do you think? They're going to keep the file? They're going to keep the recording for long? You really think that we're going to keep the recording? What did he say? That means you are aiding and abetting in a criminal act. That is what that means, aiding and abetting in a criminal act. I don't mind speaking to law enforcement. I don't ever have a mind because I want to be with the officers who uphold the law. But I have a problem speaking to the law enforcement officers who are choosing to be selective with the law. It is very clear, it is in black and white. what the law will not tolerate and what the Lord should not tolerate, according to the court. According to the court, but yet the people who are here have tolerated the intolerable. Yet the people who are here are trying to hold their dignity by walking around knowing they've been victims and victimized, and they cannot complain because there's no one to complain to. And they're traumatized, having mental traumas and situations because they can't go back. And then they feel that they're not whole when no one is there to protect them. But I, myself, am taking a personal oath. I'm going to see the justice prevail. We're going to see the justice prevail. And I want to tell you, sir, whoever's in your office, if you guys are of honor, of dignity, of pride for your job, of the pride for your job, pride for your job, I'm going to call up, speak up, and stand up. And I thank you for that, sir. And I hope when that day you would do the same. But let me explain and let me reiterate again. We are not here just to rally to make noise. We're here to come to the reasonable solution of what we've already requested should have been done, and it was not. And there should be an understanding and an explanation for such an action. And the only right thing to do now is to face us. The only right thing now to do is to not forget that we have not forgotten, nor will we.
Yes, sir.
No justice, no justice, no justice, no justice. Where we at, y'all?
This was a great show of resistance today. What was that saying you said? Resistance? Said, oh, injustice? Oh, something with injustice.
When injustice becomes law, resistance becomes duty.
When injustice becomes law, resistance becomes duty. So it's our duty to show up and to resist.
Say it again.
When injustice becomes law,
Uh-huh. There you go.
resistance becomes duty.
Say it again. Are you trying to set it?
When injustice becomes law, resistance becomes duty. When injustice becomes law, resistance becomes duty. And we resist all forms of oppression, and we're going to continue to resist and to occupy this space to let the DA know that he works for the people. And that it's time to put an end to D-theft in Brooklyn. Stop D-theft now. Stop D-theft now.
Stop D-theft now.
Stop D-theft now.
Stop D-theft now.
Stop D-theft now.
Stop D-theft now.
Stop D-theft now.
Stop D-theft now.
Stop D-theft now.
Stop D-theft now.
Stop D-theft now.
Stop D-theft now.
Stop D-theft now.
Stop D-theft now.
Stop D-theft now.
Stop D-theft now.
Stop D-theft now.
Stop D-theft now.
And this is a great way, a note to end on, is to repeat that when injustice becomes law, resistance becomes duty.
When injustice becomes law,
Resistance becomes duty.
when injustice becomes law,
Resistance becomes duty.
when injustice becomes law,
Resistance becomes duty. Thank you all for coming out. We're going to do this again. For the what? Janina. Okay.
justice for coming out as well. We thank you for coming out. We thank you for coming out. We thank you for everybody sitting. We just gotta keep on.
They need donations. They need donations. They need donations. Yeah, make some donation.
Let me get some cash. I don't have my cash on.
We gotta keep exposing the fact that we know that these cases is rooted in fear.
Let me see if I can. Oh, the bank is right here.
They